Hey, what's up guys? It's Lego Hobo 910 here with another Lego video, and this is episode, I think, 4, it's either 3 or 4 of the Fire Castle, and today is basically going to be finishing up the Fire Castle here. I'm going to be doing some rock work here, because, as I've said in a couple of my previous Elemental Castle videos, like a couple of weeks ago, like a week before the, Water Castle, the most recent Water Castle video came out, I don't live anywhere near a LEGO store. The closest one is 6 hours away, and I happen to be in the area, so, you know, of course I stopped by and I picked up a bunch of pieces. And these are some pieces that I picked up. A, black cheese slope, one of these big black slopes, I don't know the technical name, and also a black 1x1 with studs on all sides. And yeah, I picked up a decent bit of those, and I decided, you know what, those mixed with some other pieces would be perfect for rock work. Here's just kind of a rock I've been experimenting with, just kind of slapping some pieces together, figuring stuff out. And the best part is it only has a 1-stud base, so I can place it and then, like, have it be at a diagonal, like that, so it doesn't have to go perfectly straight. And, of course, I'm going to build a bunch of other rock designs, so basically today I'm going to be doing some rock work here. As you saw in that time-lapse, I built a few different rock designs. I built this little one, this kind of flatter one. This, I think, might be my least favorite. I might redo it. Also built this kind of weird-looking one. This one, which is another really small one. And this one, I think, is just kind of a generic design that I might make a bunch of and place all over, obviously, you know, with slight variations, like turning this around at different angles and turning these and... But it's a fairly basic design that uses all these parts, and then I think the thing that was hardest to work in was these, because most of the time they lay flat. I originally was trying to get them to stand up, except they don't work very well with these. They just don't fit in. As you can see when I attach it there, it doesn't quite fit. So those were really hard to work with, but I think I managed. I also built this really big one, which I'll place somewhere. And yeah, now I'm going to go place these around on the base plate and set them up, and then I'll get back to you after that. I have now placed the rocks, and also I had to, you know, put cheese slopes and stuff around them to help blend them into the terrain. And then the next order of business for this is changing the top of the tower, because I do not like the way that looks at all. When I built it, I originally thought it looked cool, but I've definitely changed my mind and realized that that kind of sucks, so I think I'm going to rebuild that. It's a day after since I last recorded. Oops, I appear to have knocked this off. But as you can see, I've changed the back of the tower here. I'm still not 100% because I wanted to use at least a couple of these 4 silver spikes somewhere. I think that works. I also built this kind of little shrine in the center here with the fire and then the black spears coming up. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still not 100%, but I think it'll work. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these from skeleton horses into flaming skeleton horses to give the fire faction a animal. I've just now finished them, and I didn't have quite as many flame pieces as I thought I had, because I used up a bunch elsewhere on the fire castle. So I was going to put a lot more flame on them here, except I only have like 4 flame pieces. I think I actually had 5, except obviously, you know, I can't use an odd number, because there's 2 of them. Instead, I decided, you know, what if I get some capes here? And I found, like, some of these really ragged capes, and I decided they'd look really cool. And then I used the neck hole to connect them using a spike into one of the holes on there. And then they also, you know, have little holes, so I connect it with a little hole here. As you may have noticed, it's uneven on this one, because it's perfectly even on the sides, and if you put it to the side, then it's uneven. But this one is actually fairly even around both sides, and that's because here's the neck hole, and the neck hole is actually slightly offset, as you can see. So then it kind of evens out, and then once again I put it through a tiny little hole that it had in it to make it look more ragged. And then I also just put some spikes around the back, and because else if it just had the 2 spikes on the front, they would look a little unnatural. So putting more spikes around the back helps make those look normal. And overall, I think they look pretty cool, and I think the capes look kind of like smoke and ash blowing past them as they run through, and it looks pretty cool. And I think that's about where I'm going to call it for this episode on the Fire Castle. This is probably going to be the last solo Fire Castle episode, because it's basically done. Like most of the other ones, the last episode for the Air Castle and the Earth Castle were basically the last ones. The only one that I still have really a decent bit of work to do on is the water, but I can get that done in like 1 episode. I'm just waiting on some parts that I ordered. So yeah, that's it for this episode of the Fire Castle. Goodbye, and peace.